Okay, so this is the Greek Trireme I've made of a scale model. So if you were a person this size, this is exactly how big the actual ships would have been of the Greek fleets. So I'm just going to give you guys a little tour here of how it would look inside and all the things they would have had. So as you can see, there's the anchors on the side, and then the front with the horn, and the gold and the eye for intimidation factors, I would guess. And then we go up here, we see the first deck, where there is the mast here in the middle. They were very large, and the sails. So they always had a front sail, which was a lot smaller than the bigger sail here in the back, in the middle actually, which was massive. And this was just the front of this is the top of the ship, and of course it would have some way to board onto them. And in the back I have the top of the curve and the turners here, which would guide the ship. I'll give you a better view of them soon, but this is the model I've used. So we're in the back here, and you can see this sort of curves around, and it goes to the top just like it's up here. So that's the peak of the top. Now we're going down to the first actual level of rowers. So this is where people would have rowed on the first level, and that's where the mast stretches into, is the middle, just like we see in this plan here of the first deck here with the lines. And it's just shown here too with the lines and with the mast reaching the middle. And when we continue down, we're going to see the second deck of rowers. So this is where people would have been too, sitting of course, and rowing the boat. And out here would be the oars, and they would turn them. And just the back, maybe for storage purposes, if they had any, armor, bows, arrows, food, they would have kept it all here. And that's that. And then the bottom here is the third or the last row of rowers, relatively close to the water. So this would, of course, the triple rowers would give this speed, immense speed, and it would just be crazy fast. With the sails on top, if the wind helped, it would have just been extremely fast. So this is why this ship was the strongest and the most feared in combat of all the ships. And of course in the front, we see this more in Romans, but Greeks could have possibly used them, of course, is the sides, and then there'd be someone in the front using drums. So they would just keep a steady beat going to help them row all in unison. And then we can get it back up here to the other decks, as you can see in the front of each deck, with their weapons ready here in the front. And then the top deck. So this is the Greek Trireme scale model, so this is exactly the size, how it would be if you were a person of that size. This is how the warriors of Spartan and Athens would see the ship, and this is how they would have, been in it. So when we see the sides down here, we can see from the side, that's the turn, keeps the ship turning. And we can see the sides, of course. It looks much like the picture I've showed you before, with the front there. And the bottom, of course, is also curved in and done to keep the water out on the ship afloat, just like we see in the picture here. So it looks relatively the same. See in the back, you can see the large turners and the sails, And that's a scale model of the Greek Trireme.